Hello, and welcome to episode 22 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Abby, and I am your host. With me, as always, are Logan and Jordan. Logan, let's go back to what we know. What did you do in Flesh and Blood this week?
I'm coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida. I have done very little. I played in an armory with Kasai and went 2-2, so not good at all. But little getting hit pretty hard by a nice little Viserai, trying to ride him off into the sunset. So a little sweatier than I would have expected, but it got me good, got me real good. I think his first turn was Mordred Tide, something, blow my quill hand on turn one, pass with 8 rune chance. And I'm like, huh,
Oh, we're dead.
well, I only have 20 life. Cool.
Yeah.
So, and that's about all I did. Otherwise, I'm in sunny Florida, just kind of chilling out for the week. At some point in time, I think I owe, because of our retiring of Jordan's accent, at some point in the podcast here, I'm gonna have to drop a Minnesota accent. I think was requested of me.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to try to pop that in there somewhere and see if it gets recognized well enough, if that's the case. But otherwise I made it here safely, and I'm just kind of hanging out. And as you can see, this is not my normal background. But yeah, Jordan, what have you been up to?
Almost actually as good of a weather situation as you've had. Columbus, Ohio has been great the past couple of days. I mean, I still live in Ohio. It's still like a hellhole, but like,
okay, fine.
Yeah, but like a pretty warm hellhole.
Yeah, it's like 74 right now and sunny and breezy. Like our windows are open. It's great inside.
Iowa's not been that way at all.
No. It's funny. I compare the weather locations of like all of my friends that live across the country whenever we have good weather or bad weather. And so Iowa is actually in my loop of places that I check.
Well, I'm glad that we made the list.
Yeah, see? The list isn't very long. It's like there, Colorado, and Florida. So, yeah, but still, no, I do check Iowa weather. So in terms of Flesh and Blood, I actually just got off of a Discord call with a couple of friends who were doing some testing games. I played a lot of Dash early in the week and then played some Chain today. And then right now, I think the fellows are testing Chain and Prism into each other.
I did play 3 hours of Oldham into Chain.
Oh wow!
I did do that, and it doesn't. I guess I never stopped and thought about how much Autumn's Touch meant to a lot of these decks, and that's a bigger deal than I thought. We'll get to that.
Yeah. No, it's. I did play a couple of games of Starvo as well, and you're right. I didn't think about how much I liked blocking sometimes. And so we'll get to examine that in a second. But I otherwise I haven't done too much besides my usual content creation loop and like playing some testing games with guys getting ready for New Jersey. But Abby, what'd you get up to in the old Fab world?
I did not play any this week per usual. But I am currently trying to get my brother and sister-in-law to play. So I was up there this weekend, and I'm mad because I took my deck out of my book bag to put it in the bag I was taking so that I could like at least show them like what I have, and then I left it here. But I was telling my brother about the events that the Realm has had and the upcoming one. He used to play Magic pre-wife and child. And so I was like, well, you should look at playing this game. It's a lot of fun. So
if only we had like a box, like an Ultra Guard, like 6 deck holder that held all of the Blitz starter decks that you could easily port to places to teach them how to play. Wow, and it was designed that way. And like we literally talk about, we buy all the Blitz decks to be able to teach people how to play. That'd be we should do that. Let me make a note.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. It would be really
I'll check it off because it's completed. We did that already.
If you came when I went to visit my family, you could bring it.
Okay, 1, phrasing. 2,
yeah, who's to say I don't?
Back off marital strife again here, kids. Like, I think I'm 4 episodes deep in marital strife now. So let's
It's
cut
true.
some strife a little
You
bit of
did
strife.
advocate for a podcast with 2 married people.
That
So
yeah.
you
It's all
did
you.
It's
lead
on
the
me.
charge here.
You're right. You're right. It's on
All
me.
right.
My fault.
So let's get started on our news this week. We've got just a couple things to talk about.
One or
So
two.
starting first, let's talk about the BNR announcement.
BNS?
BNS, yeah.
BNS. Sorry. They changed it. Okay. My first thought is maybe, just maybe, they drop things before we record. Just like once.
Sunday mornings would be great.
Literally one time.
I have actually noticed a couple of different other content creators that do podcasts have already just decided, fuck it, we're just shipping, we're moving our record times. And I'm like, you do realize there's no rhyme or reason, right? They could drop something at a Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is whatever in New Zealand time. I'm very bad at that
I
calculation.
think it's 11
apologize to my
a.m.,
Kiwi
yeah.
friends. Yeah, something like that. Or it could just as easily be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever. It doesn't seem to follow any sort of logical schedule. It does. The banned and restricted, sorry, damn it, I did it. The banned and suspended announcements do seem to be on New Zealand Monday mornings.
Right.
So I guess that's something that you can kind of plan around, but the rest of it is just like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like when we initially talked about what our production cycle was going to look like, we said like we looked at it and it's like they don't have a news schedule that like we care about or that's easy to track. Like there's no like big news can drop on a Friday afternoon or it can drop on a Tuesday morning, or it just so happens that big news is dropped on like Sunday 10 minutes after we record the past like 3 weeks. And I'm laying in bed looking at my phone like, God damn it. Like,
yeah, that was definitely the, okay, getting ready for bed, laying down, and fuck me running.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, 10 minutes after we got off the phone, you know?
Great.
Like, crazy.
I did consider reconvening, but I'm just like,
yeah, like, we said the same thing. We were like, oh, we want to text Logan to get back together. We were literally laying in bed, like, turning the TV off. It was like, this is pretty late in the game.
Yeah. I was kind of in the same spot. Like, if you would have said something, I definitely would have done it, but I wasn't about to stoke that flame. I was just like,
We both would have been DJs, but didn't want to be the DJ initiator. Yeah.
We'd been 2 hours plus on the horn already, going through everything at that point, and I was just like,
yeah.
All right.
Definitely feels that way. But
I do love giving the people what they want, but sometimes we have to practice a little bit of self-care.
It was a big week into a big week.
Yeah.
Right.
So in Classic Constructed, we have four changes. Awakening is banned.
Who cares?
Autumn's Touch is suspended until Starvo Living Legends out.
So basically until what Uprising's released then, basically?
Yes, that's basically going to be what it is.
Bloodsheet Skeleton is suspended until Viscerai Living Legends out.
That's a big TBD.
That could be a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be a while.
And then Seeds of Agony is moved from banned to suspended until Chain Living Legends out.
That one interests me.
That one interests me for like a bunch of reasons. That's the only card they did that with that's banned. So that means to say that there are cards that are currently on the ban list that are gone. Like, you shouldn't do this, but you could theoretically light them on fire.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't do that.
You could light your Drone of Brutalities on fire, and you'd never miss playing with them because they're not going to fucking let you.
Unless you play my cube.
Unless you play Jordan's cube, in which case it is the most first pick of first picks that you could probably imagine.
Red, yellow, or blue doesn't matter.
It doesn't actually matter.
Grab it.
Just take it.
Yeah. No, so I think like the Plunder Runs and the Ball Lightnings of the world not being moved as well, like until like say Briar was Living Legend out, was an interesting thing, and maybe they'll do that as we get closer to a Briar Living Legend date. But I don't know.
So, I mean, I think that's a design space thing, right? Like, so Plunder Run, as an example. you're dead at. You have a ninja in the set. You want Plunder Run? I'm
Yeah.
going to guess that the ninja's still playing on kind of that stringy combo system type of stuff. Even though that we know that there are big over attacks that are draconic. Thaw comes to mind, but the other end of that is that if it plays anything like or any of the traditional ninjas that exist right now that all play in the same space, I Plunder Run probably not safe.
Right.
And then Ball Lightning really does restrict your space in Elemental Lightning.
Mhm.
Like you have to tread ultra carefully because Ball Lightning has a ton of power and can make things snowball and get out of hand quickly. So you want to let that just run free so that you have to really be careful with your design space with lightning cards? Probably not.
Yeah.
I
No,
so
totally.
I think that that's this.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I think that's why we don't see that shift is because there is like a long-term issue with that card that maybe they sets down the line, figure it out, and they don't want to like completely like take it out of it. But I don't ever see this becoming like a suspended and then an unbanned card. To be sure.
Not Ball Lightning, no. Plunder
No.
Run, maybe.
Yeah.
Because again, I think they're scared. There's some fear that it's one of those you either unban it and it's not impactful, so why did you unban it? Or you unban it and it ruins a format, so why unban it? And if those are your two use cases, or you think they're your two use cases, it's Pascal's wager. Why would you do it?
Yeah.
So I think that's the plunder run logic. Seeds, I kind of feel like that could have been the logic, but it is narrow. It's a Shadow Runeblade card. Don't give him fucking Soul Shackling. Seeds isn't that bad. Like Seeds being a card that effectively read whenever you mill this, it effectively is drawing a card for free and enabling a giant turn. In which case you probably just made an Ursa token.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's disgusting when that's the case.
Yeah. No, completely agree. In terms of like we talked about a little bit earlier, Awakening doesn't do a lot for me. A lot of decks were already cutting it. Like the big change is actually this Autumn's Touch suspension kind of actually matters more than
Matters a
more than I would have guessed. You know, it wasn't on anybody's radar. Um, I think it's actually a really well hit spot to like if you want to play Bravo, you still can. You still can win a tournament with Bravo, but you are way softer to aggro decks now. You are way
Yeah,
softer to
that's
on hit
true.
effect decks, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, again the shock to me testing because I played a decent amount of Oldham, helping people prepare for the PT, and I was pretty successful playing it into different decks. I'm like, okay, well I can play this deck, and I sit down for 3 hours and get clapped by Chain, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not how this felt. Like I just can't block. Like I feel like I don't have. I have, I'm missing 9 or whatever it is, 6 or 9 3 blocks that are now twos, and these games are coming down to a couple points of life.
Right.
And it's like, fuck, that is a lot. And same thing with Briar. I mean, it's an attacking deck, but there are turns where you just need a 3 block, and it needs the Earth cards to keep channel around. It mattered a ton. I'm like, oh god, this surgically hit Bravo pretty hard, harder than I thought. And then also the splash damage to the other decks makes it kind of a not so fast. You can't just pivot to one of these other, kind of degenerate strategies. I just never understood how good of an enabler Autumn's Touch was. Just
Mhm.
didn't.
Yeah.
Who knew that Draft Shaft from Tales of Aria could force that much? I'm actually very curious that there's a part of me, and it's a non-zero part of me that believes that the best Guardian deck to play in the Pro Tour might just be Bravo's Showstopper.
Maybe.
You still have a lot of shit you get to do with that deck,
Mhm.
and it does a lot of work on just by crippling crushing people.
Dominated crippling crushes too.
Right, and so that might just be the better Guardian. It's hard to say, and I think I saw this pointed out a couple of times online, these decks, these Guardian decks, your Oldham and Starvo specifically, with a little bit of extra splash damage around, actually kind of makes Prism worse, even though Prism didn't lose anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Prism's always been the check on the meta, and if Prism's good, the meta's a problem, which is kind of a weird thing to think. But it's kind of where we wind up, and that's what happened with Chain. Prism was great. Well, Chain's a problem. Here, Starvo's great. So is Prism. Prism's really good in this meta.
Meta kind of
so we have a problem.
Yeah.
I think Dalen pointed this out, a couple other people too, that the field opens up for some of these other aggressive decks to come in and start taking some percentage. And I think the PT is about to become real interesting, and I do think there will be a testing team somewhere out there that has something that they broke. Whether that be a change in Starvo, playing something closer to Michael Hamilton's list, or a shift to one of these aggressive decks, or like I said, I think that it might just be right to play Bravo Showstopper. We don't know, or just straight up play Chain. Chain's still really fucking good.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Chain today, like I mentioned, and it was the first time ever like playing those cards, and I was just like, oh, my turn can be insane. Like I said that multiple times, where I was like, what in the world? Like I just could do all of these things. I'm casting 6 cards this turn. Like the game says you only get 1 action point. I just casted 6 cards this turn. You know.
I sat there and stared at what was it I was staring at? I was playing Chain against Chain. And I'm like, okay, I'm at 29. They're at 22. I have a good hand. I can open Oldham. So I probably should try to do that and just like take some damage to use my equipment, to block well. And I see their soul shackle flips, and now I have a real question. And it was like, oh shit. Well, this blocks for shit. This is a blizzard. They have 4 cards in hand. They're fetching a blue Minnowism off Belittle. And they just flipped 5 cards with blood debt, and they are going to go get a Minnowism to make sure that they can play all these bounty demigons. This is like unblocked 19 damage. I can't take that. So now my hand's gone. It's just vicious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, casino decks are real.
And we're getting close to the last episode. Next week will be the last episode before the PT, right? So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna find out quickly, and I'm pretty excited too.
I've decided to be there to find out. Like, that's what's got me going.
There's gonna be that you know that buzz in the room at every big tournament when like something new is happening. Oh, that's good. Probably need that.
Yeah.
100% no.
The old like Grand Prix or like even like VTQ vibe of like there's something new in the room and there's that buzz and everybody's like, hey, have you seen that this deck's doing really good? That shit is so fun to be there for in person, man. I'm so excited.
And I've been there for it. I've been at Magic Pro Tours for it, and it's fucking crazy. Have you seen what this deck is doing? And like you just get people flocking over to some tables and just going, oh shit.
Yeah. And then you go like look at the side of it and everybody's trying to buy the cards for it, like breaking even more. And like, dude, that is the peak time to play card games. The in between sucks. Games fucking suck in between, but the peaks are so good, man.
Like the peaks are wild.
Yeah, they're awesome. We're gonna be here till the Pro Tour if we stay on this part of the BNR.
Yeah,
so,
I think
you're supposed to be the train conductor.
I think Holly would be pretty pissed if I was doing this until the PT.
To be fair, you were actually like until the last 30 seconds talking about like what we were talking about. You didn't go anyway.
We were on task.
Okay, so for Blitz, we have our first hero hit Living Legend status.
A legend.
So Viserai, and with Viserai is Nebula Blade, which I don't know that I've ever seen played.
I can't say what that card does.
Oh, hold on. It gets better because there's another one in here that I literally did not know was a card. So Viserai and Nebula Blade are gone. And then Awakening is banned. Hardened Crosstrap is banned.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And then Seeds of Agony is moved from banned to suspended until Chain hits LL
Chandler,
status.
yeah.
Yeah. Snapback is suspended until the next scheduled announcement following the conclusion of Skirmish Season 5. As are the next two. I'm not going to read that every time. Sonata Arcanic.
Yep.
And
Arcanix, yeah.
Stir. Oh, sorry. And Stir the Aetherwind.
Yep.
And then there is a card that's going to be banned June 24th, so the day Uprising comes out. And it is Stubby Hammerers. I did not think that was a real card.
No, it is.
I don't know that I have ever. I didn't know that
Never
was a
played
thing
Monarch
ever.
Limited?
Nope. I know that Jordan did, because he had made all of the cards.
Right.
But yeah, I had never heard it, seen it.
It's a card. And apparently it's going to do something busted, and they figured it out.
Which is hilarious to me. I love it. I love it.
I find it amusing.
So someone on Arsenal Pass, they mentioned that they think this is the first set that wasn't pre-made before the launch of Wrath, Welcome to Wraith. So this is the first one that they didn't have at least in the hopper or like have the construct for. I don't know how true that is. That could be like, and they weren't super sure of the veracity of the claim.
Could be apocryphal if nothing else.
Yeah. So like basically just like, oh, we're gonna get to see kind of now how Flesh and Blood manages being a company that designs a game and facilitates a game. And I think that, preemptively getting out ahead of a card like Stubby Hammers, and it's a common, so like it costs nobody any money. Like I
Who
like
named this card?
What's that?
Who named this card?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what hammering on a stubby sounds like. We know what our podcast is named.
Yeah. You guys call yourself the Fappers. You get it too,
right? You get it. Like this isn't beyond you. But I'm like, okay. So now you've called attention to this name. This is great. Right next to Seeds of Agony, which is a total other thing.
Oh no.
So I'm wondering what the busted part is. It has to be in the ninja, I think. But
yeah.
My guess is that
like what all of your attacks that turn gain +1. Is that it?
That costs 3 or less, I think. Yeah.
That costs 3 or less.
Which is already like you hear that and you go, that's probably pretty good, right? Like,
yeah. My guess is that and this is again just a guess because I looking at the getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but looking at the Uprising things that we've seen, the dragons are not tokens.
No, they're not.
So like not like Ursa and Blasmopet. So they're not. There's a mechanic to get to them, and I think they may be similar to mentors, where they kind of just hang out until the thing happens. And Stubby Hammerers, like the ninja part of it, might just be something like dealing damage, or chaining together attacks that have a power greater than their base power or something that causes the conditions to happen for the dragon to hatch. That could easily be it.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it's so weird because the allies, they're not going to have a card designation, right? They're not going to be like a card, right? Within the meaning of that in gameplay.
I think so.
You think so?
You have to draft them, and you have to.
Yeah.
They have a rarity.
So like something that applies to like, well, I guess the way they currently phrase cards is like an attack action card, which these are not. So these definitely aren't that. But if it says like a card with base 3 attack or more or whatever, interesting.
Right, yeah, but if it's like if this card is in your arsenal when you
then
you do the thing.
Sure.
That's kind of more what I'm thinking.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
And that there is a liability in playing these giant things because at that point in time you have this card that you can't pitch, you can't block with, you can't do a lot with, and except for throw it in your arsenal and wait for it to get either CNC'd or to hatch. So I don't know. Like we'll find out. I guess there's got to be some way that this works that is interesting, I guess, is where I'm going with that.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
So, the next thing we're going to talk about, we'll put the link for this article in the show notes. But they put out an article about Uprising and kind of gives you a little more detail on, who's coming out, some of the artwork you're going to see, breakdown of, card in the set breakdown. So like how many, majestic, legendary, all that jazz. So we'll post that in case you haven't seen it. Any call outs from either of you?
There's a
No, I think
lot. Yeah, but we talked about the big juicy stuff, right? I think the dragon token ally, or dragon ally, not token, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
6 legendaries. This is a full set.
Yep.
Definitely a full set compared to Everfest. We knew that, but
yeah, and then we know that we're getting a Draconic Illusionist and a Draconic Ninja alongside Icelander.
Mm-hmm.
Fae or Phi, I don't actually know which one that is, and Drome.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people think that there is a 4th hero to balance out to make so that you'd have 2 Draconic, 2 Ice.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen that yet. But there's a lot of weird references to different characters and such in the promo materials. So we'll kind of have to see.
Yeah. The packs are going to be the paper again. Very excited about that.
Tearing through those things in 60 seconds is awesome.
Yeah, it's so much better than plastic packs, man.
Rip a box in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's great. So the only reason I don't think we'll see the 4th hero is because the Blitz deck display configuration is out there. There are going to be 8 decks per display, 4 of each hero. So the other one would have to be adult only as well.
Right, which could be Ice Kasai, one of the other heroes that isn't
an elemental.
That doesn't have an adult. That we have a young one of that don't have an adult.
Sure.
Yeah, they could also do it the other way, and they put out 2 of the hero blitz decks now, and then when they do the next what's the word I want?
Set?
I guess it's just set. Then you get the blitz deck for the next one.
Maybe, yeah, because they didn't have like a blitz, an Everfest blitz product, right? So, yeah. I mean, my money is that on 3 heroes because they liked that draft format with Tails, but I could definitely see.
It makes me somewhat concerned with how there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight at the bat rack between the 2 Draconic characters and Icelander drafters is going to be
sure
heaven.
Yeah, so, the talent distribution is worse than Tails was. Yeah, because talents were evenly distributed in Tails, right? So, yeah. Well, I mean, theoretically, 2 per hero.
Yeah.
All were represented twice.
Lexi didn't have a weapon, but outside of that,
right. So that is interesting. See,
and then the other thing it calls out, which we actually have another link for, so we'll put that in the show notes. So the weekend before, is it the weekend before? I said that, but I don't know that that's actually
the weekend before the pre-release.
Yes, so the weekend before isn't the release the 24th?
Yeah, the release is the 24th, which is a Tuesday. The pre-releases happen the 20th through the 22nd. And then these events that we're about to talk about are the 10th through the 12th.
Hold on. June 24th is a Friday.
Oh, I'm looking at May on my calendar. Okay. That makes me dumb.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2 weeks
before the pre-release, yeah.
So 2 weeks before, they are doing a world premiere event in 3 places. So they're going to do Las Vegas, Madrid, and Sydney. And it is going to be Team Blitz calling event.
Yep. So my only, I mean, obviously I love this. I love Vegas. I'll definitely be there. It just makes it so that it goes. My FAP distribution goes to be Vegas into pre-release into the Realm. So that's a chain of weekends.
Yeah.
I'm in for it. I'm here for it. My body's ready. My heart is strong. My brain is fucking mush. But I wish that they again, we have a problem with notice because they very easily, I think, could have announced this earlier to give people some more lead
Yep.
time.
We've known
Yep.
about this coming out in June for how many fucking months now?
Yep.
A while.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're going to, in November, we're going to Las Vegas for our honeymoon. We had that already. Our anniversary. And it would have been cool to maybe try to shoehorn that into this. And like this 1 month notice shit just like doesn't work for like my calendar. And it's just such a bummer, man, to like have them do that. I think like Tarek tweeted about this, that like this is the worst part. Or maybe it was
Flake, I think, too.
Yeah, I mean a bunch of them. Like Tarek, Flake, the guy that runs Harry Tarantula, Drew out of Toronto, all tweeted that like this game is great. I want to go to these events and play it. You just need to tell me when they're gonna be.
Like, especially when you're doing a team event, like
yeah,
you can give like less notice for like a regular event, but like now you have to have other people, and it's hard enough. I mean, we struggle coordinating our schedule every week to do the podcast, and we do it the same day every week, but it's always like, when can you, when can we, what, and it's just kind of like,
now imagine to do anything is hard, right?
Right. Now imagine doing that halfway across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then think about this. This is literally a month after the Pro Tour.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And people have to allocate, again, time and resources, man. Like, if they would have known ahead of time, maybe they could have done some different things to balance and done both. But a lot of people are just having to make the choices of, would I rather do X or Y?
Mm-hmm.
And that it didn't have to be that way necessarily. Yeah. So I think that's the problem.
This event does look sick, though. Like, if you can go, you should go.
So
Friday, I don't blame you.
Friday is a sealed event, and then Saturday is the calling, is the team blitz constructed, and then Sunday is a battle hardened, and the format is to be determined.
Imagine not having the Saturday Sunday calling be a team sealed.
Yeah.
You know how like this is free. It's free to do.
literally just was talking to Keith from the Realm and about this event, because I think we're going to try to play together, and the just the dead ass message today of, I thought this was team sealed. It's team blitz, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about this being team sealed. That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Would have been 10 times better, right?
Now my heart hurts.
Yep.
Yeah. Ew. I mean, I like Team Blitz, don't get me wrong. I like all of the ticket packages and all of the cool shit that they're getting. Like, these playmats are insane, and these like deck boxes are insane. Like, the promos you're gonna get are I bet you they're gonna be nuts. Like, just I want
straight bangers.
I want you to do the thing that gives me the cool cards. I don't know. I'm bitching about a cool event. I don't mean to do that, but
and the other thing about this is that because of the fact that this is kind of creating a weird scarcity, because of the event itself being maybe lightly attended in comparison, people are chasing other people down on Facebook and saying, "Hey, I'll pay for all your shit if you give me the promos."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want that. Come on.
Yeah, we don't have a Reddit thread this week, but there was a guy on Reddit saying, "Hey, like, do they mail you the cards if you don't attend the event?" And a person was like, "No, you get your cards when you walk through the door." Like,
right.
Like,
when you go to the desk and say, "I signed this. I signed up for this."
Yeah, it's like these aren't what this is for. I get it. All of you guys that hate the stock market and hate index funds, you want to do this instead. Like, it's just like, don't, man. Like, you'll make a buck, but like, don't.
MetaZoo's right over there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Open a Coinbase account or something, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I have a Coinbase account. Did I get shit on?
No, I have a Coinbase account.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
Yeah. I don't have any money in my Coinbase account, but
Well, that's fine, but
yeah, like I bought like Bitcoin when I was in college, and then it like skyrocketed, and I forgot that it existed, and then it was like, oh, I made a ton of money and sold it, and then I'm done. Yeah,
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I think I literally have actual $0 in my Coinbase account. Yeah, it's kind of a nice little surprise one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day, a couple grand.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Yeah, it was just like, oh, sick.
Well, what do you know?
Yeah, law school buddy goes, hey, you should make this account and we can do this together. I was like, all right. Oh shit, nope, we're not doing this together. I'm just done. Anyway, sorry.
Well, I had a good segue, but then you kept going. So
was it about bread? Please say it was about bread.
No, it was it was like, oh, you know what else is really good or something like that. I don't know. It's gone now. Opportunity has been missed. We're just ships passing in the night. Okay, so we now have a banned and suspended players list.
And Jordan is now pot committed to Flesh and Blood for the life of the game.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep, I'm here.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys. I burned up my 2-week notice, so I'll be here.
Yeah, this is a Flesh and Blood Stan account now.
Yeah, I guess the only person that actually hasn't out anymore is me. So
yeah, there you go.
And I obviously keep doing fucking podcasts while I'm on vacation. Yeah, so right, it's not like I'm going anywhere.
Yeah, so they banned Ye for 2 years, suspended it for 2 years. That is the minimum amount that I would have accepted, and I am content. Content is the word.
Content.
I bet you by June 2024 he is banned for life, but hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Maybe he just doesn't play.
Maybe he doesn't play. Yeah, maybe he's done. That happens more often than not, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. I think I like the way that it worked in the other card games is that people get banned, and then they just make a Magic Online account or whatever and keep playing, and just never link their DCI number to their account or whatever, so they could stay on top of things. And then once their ban was up, they could then hop back in without having missed a beat. But this doesn't have that.
Right.
So if you really can't play high-level events and people aren't going to play with you because you're a toxic cheater that needed to be yeeted into the sun, then exactly. I don't think that you're going to, in 2 years, have any real position to reintegrate into the game very well. And yeah, I think that this is a 2-year suspension that somewhat equates to a lifetime ban, potentially. And I'm happy about it. I thought they were going to do something soft-handed, like 6 months, and nope, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a 2-part process. Fuck around, find out.
Yeah.
Welcome to Found Out.
I'm still an advocate for lifetimes, but given that this is like, I get like this is fine. Like there, if you saw this and went, I wish it was a lifetime, you're not alone. Me and a couple of people texted me and were like, man, this seems soft. And I was like, no, I get it. I get that perspective. It's also unlikely that was ever going to happen.
No,
it's pretty unlikely that was going to happen. So, this is harder than Magic's ever been on somebody on a first time.
Oh, it's absolutely true.
Yeah. So, we'll take that, I guess. I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon in terms of their like heavy-handedness. It's a black hole to me in terms of knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody that wants to hop into our Discord and tell us what that has been like, more than welcome to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Abby, are you snapping pictures of the cat?
I did take a picture of the cat. She looks very cute right now.
All right,
I'm gonna post it in the Discord once we hang up the call. It's a very good picture of her.
All right.
She's just tired. Okay, so the retailer supply policy was updated starting today. Okay, so changes to the policy starting today. Box breaks are added, and then in particular when a box break of a new product is allowed to take place, and then disclosing the contents of new release sealed product. And then there were changes that also happened last week. So Uprising, History Pack, and Everfest were added to the map policy. Crucible Unlimited was removed from the map policy, and European store eligibility was published.
Specifically what they did. Yeah, they did a bunch of good stuff in terms of prohibiting online retailers from abusing the space.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah. The biggest update was Flesh and Blood sealed product may only be sold online by brick and mortar gaming stores. If you have heard of a company called Card Shop Live, CSL, they are owned and operated by CFB, Channel Fireball. And this week, CSL had a big, crazy sale, actually, where for $350, you got 6 boxes.
Yeah.
And I bet you they knew this was coming. And today, that had to end. So, or I guess the 26th that had to end. So, and that was a hot sale on our Discord. Actually, people were talking about that and gobbling that up, which is good. Take advantage of it. But
I am really excited for box breaks. I love that. I love that.
It's I also the very clear language of hey, don't preview cards before they've been out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do a fucking box break on your live stream as the second largest card retailer in the world. How about you just don't? Like,
right.
You know,
maybe not.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, Abby, box breaks have always existed in this game. They're just like nowhere near as good as they are for like sports.
I love a good box break.
They are fun. They're good.
One of these days, they're like the TCG space is really going to discover the absolute secret sauce, which is numbered cards on variants.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to print money.
Argent Saga did that for a little bit.
Did they?
Yeah. Who made them, Abby? Fuck, you would know the company, Logan.
Oh, it's the place near
Cleveland.
Is it Akron?
No, it's near Cleveland. Oh, yeah, I guess Akron is near Cleveland, but it was nearer to Cleveland. Anyway, they did that, and you're right. Those variants printed money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why they don't have like 1 of 5 with just like a different color background or something, you know, like
a different foiling process, you know, similar to cold foil, but different.
Right.
Just stamp a fucking number on them and let people know exactly how many of these exist and what number of that this is, and people will just lose their goddamn minds.
Yep.
Look at ARG is who made.
Oh, Altered Reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they made Argent Saga. That game was very good.
It was very good.
Game was very good. Yeah, no, I mean, this is clearly a targeted CFB and then others in its ilk, rather.
Elk.
Yeah, elk.
Big fucking horns.
Yeah. I like that they have I like that they've added a map. It kind of lets you know at a baseline when you look at MSRP, like where you're at with your store. I like things that give clarity to consumers. You know,
yeah.
Hey, I know that the cheapest I can get this for is, you know, X dollars. If I see it for X plus 10, that's probably a good deal. Or like if I see it for X plus like 50, that's probably not a good deal. And like allows a little bit more clarity in shopping. And knowing that, hey, whenever I buy something online, I'm buying it from a real store is really good. And this is a complete aside, but the geese by our pond in our neighborhood just had babies, and they are these little puffy yellow balls. They're currently walking down the hill right now, and it's adorable as shit.
Well, don't you know that a goose is good eating there? You just get out there and you just get a little bit of buckshot straight into them, you know, and then you just pluck them feathers, you set it out to roast, and you can just have yourself some goose all day long.
Oh my
Sounds like you got a little bit of a farm over there, you know.
Oh my!
You could just, I mean, come on, you could just go ahead and have yourself a nice little goose party. Just don't eat any of the goose butter. It's not good for you.
Are we doing your Minnesota Acket on a wicket?
I fit it in.
You did.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. What did you just say, Jordan?
I asked if he was
on a wicket.
Listen. Say it again.
I didn't do it in the accent. I just said it in my normal Ohio accent.
You absolutely did.
So to further derail, the lady 2 houses down for us has like a bird feeder, and bird seed like falls on the grass. And these geese and like deer and all of these animals and shit come in her backyard and just like eat this bird seed, and like they're all back there in her little backyard just nibbling away right now. It's wonderful. In the morning, like, you know, like deer and like really like rare birds, like we don't get a ton of blue jays in Ohio. We'll go back there and eat. It's like really nice. Anyway, completely aside, not a bird pod, but
birds and bread.
So yeah, I like the map policy.
I think it's a good thing. I think
Yep.
It's surgical. I mean, definitely targeted.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay with it.
Ooh, sorry. Okay, so then our last news and note: ProQuest Season 2 starts May 14th, runs through June 5th. It's classic constructed, and we have a breakdown of the price pool. So, first place gets a Pro Tour invite. Or no, hold on. Why does it say one-time Pro Tour invite? Oh, to each event. Never mind. Or the losing finalist. Sorry, guys. I'm struggling today. One random drop gold cold foil.
To be clear, the winner does get a Pro Tour invite, just like every other BTQ.
Yep.
Yes.
And the runner-up gets it if the winner already has one.
Yeah, passes down.
Yeah, don't mind me. And then 8 spring tunic limited edition sleeves to the top 8. And then judge support will include extended art, rainbow foil, Wartune Herald, judge promos, and tunic sleeves.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting that they're taking that's what they're going to use the tunic sleeves for. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's not what I would have expected, but I think it's cool. Yeah, no complaints.
We have one in Central Ohio.
Columbus itself will get one through Beyond the Board.
Yeah,
and then there was a bunch of other ones in Ohio, but
I still don't think we have one in Iowa. So,
oh, that's a bummer.
It is what it is.
All right. We don't have a Reddit thread of the week this week.
Reddit continues to suck.
Yeah, if you guys see Reddit threads throughout the week, like if you're listening to this and you're like, but this Reddit thread was a banger, hit me up with either like in FAP feedback or like the listener questions section of our Discord. I'll take a look at it. We typically like ones where like the takes are hot and we can like kind of meme on the responses a little bit. The general vibe is like make fun of people on the internet, but at the same time also we like good content. So if there's like a really good discussion, we do that too. The Reddit thread of the week's been a very varied piece of content that I think we like doing. We just haven't had any that aren't like the Reddits have devolved into like
some people.
Yeah. We've also like given good answers, I think, to like new player questions, but the Reddits have devolved very into like I'm new and don't know how the stack works, and like that stuff's just not like what we're geared at. So it's been tough to find stuff, or we hit it generally talking about the rest of the news. But if you see one,
not to say that you're bad if you're new and don't know how the stack works. That's totally fine.
Right.
It's just not what like the show is. Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. We're not going to shit on you for that. We're going to shit on you for talking about how terrible the mechanic of the stack is. Yeah, now we're going to shit on you.
Precisely.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody can be new, but the stack is the greatest invention in the history of gaming. It might actually be the greatest game mechanic of all time. We've been doing these power ranking lists. It might be.
It's up there with bread.
It is up there with
game
bread.
Mechanic.
I mean, have you? Yes. The fuck are you talking about? Of course it is.
All right. So we have 4 listener questions this week. The first one is from Heldenhammer. And it's, my local group is thinking of flying down to Sydney for the calling in June. Our fab scene is really new. Any tips for traveling up for our first big event? I'm sorry. Any tips for leveling? I swear that said traveling. I need my glasses. Sorry, guys. Any tips for leveling up our game before our first new event? Jesus.
Why don't you take this one first?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, me? All right.
Yeah, you.
I think the best things that you can do to get better at any game is to play it. That's step 1. So play. Get used to the game. Play. The second best thing you can do to get better at anything is to play against people that are better than you. That is the best way to learn, is to watch somebody who has a better understanding of what's happening do the thing. And the best way to notice that is when it happens to you. So find the people around you. I mean, it's a growing scene, but there's going to be somebody that is already kind of ahead of the curve. It almost always happens. Play with them. Like, that best way to get better is to play. Second best way to get better is to play against people who are better than you. And be willing to admit that people are better than you.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, that echoes a lot of what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, you know, if everyone in your group is new to Flesh and Blood, and maybe it's like your first card game, or maybe it's even not, I think that first time that you play a game in the hall at the Sydney calling is going to be eye opening, and you're gonna go, "Oh my god, we're all terrible," and like that's okay, and like that's what you're supposed to do. You know,
Yeah,
I remember the
yeah,
first time I played Flesh and Blood against somebody that wasn't Abby, and like I was like, "Holy shit, we were playing the game with the right rules, but we're not playing the same game as like
yep,
these people," you know?
Mhm.
And then you get better. And like, and that goes to what Logan was saying is like these people are better than you. You're going to play and you're going to lose and you're going to get better. And then like, you're going to think you get a handle on it. And then you're going to get worse. And then you're going to think you get a handle on it. And then that's the cycle of
then you
your
get
life.
better.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the cycle you live in.
It's the story. Sorry.
Yeah. But no, I think I echo just like that you have to play the game. And I struggle with that part because it's time
Mhm.
consuming. But the best way to level up, man, is just to play. And if you go and have a good time and just play people and be ready to lose a lot, and that's kind of the fun. Lean into it, you know.
Also, don't be scared of being the hobbyist. Don't be scared
Yeah,
about being the person that enjoys Flesh and Blood for reasons outside of being competitive. There's space for everybody in this game,
Yeah,
and it's
I
great.
mean, you're also going to like, in my opinion, the best calling to start with. You know, if you're new, it's a team event, so you can rely on the rest of your
And
group.
others, yeah,
Yeah, you know, you're not going in all by yourself.
yeah. On Friday, you're gonna get to do a really chill, casual, like sealed event. You
yeah,
know, on Saturday, with like new cards that no one's ever seen, right? So
Mhm.
you're on ground zero with everybody. On Saturday, you're playing this team event that is like geared towards like a fun, inclusive experience. That's awesome. And I think people get hung up on like the term like the calling or like a pro quest. They get hung up on these ladders. In reality, we're all just playing the same game, you know. And if you just go with the idea of like I'm here to learn something and get a little bit better, like what event you're playing, it doesn't matter. Whenever someone goes,
yeah.
"Can my
We're
first event be a pro quest?" Like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know.
sure,
One of my best friends, his first event was a pro quest, and he went 4-2, and like,
yeah,
you know, it's just like it's a game, you know.
yeah. At the end of it, we're all slowly decomposing lumps of carbon.
Yeah, we're hurtling
That's
on
Hopefully, it
a
right.
makes you
rock through
happy.
space, and we're all gonna die in a big cold heat death of the universe.
That's
Cold
right.
heat death. Yeah.
No,
No.
Sure.
Wait.
yeah. The heat that the universe is cold. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because we lose heat. Right. That's the.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Um. But I think you made a good point, Logan. That this game needs more hobbyists. It needs a more casual people to rise
Yeah,
up a little bit. You know, I think there is a very competitive focus, and that's the problem with a lot of card games that aren't Magic. Frankly, is that the casual side gets left behind because games are made for their whales, and competitive gamers are whales, and the games that they like. So,
hmm
um, please be that person that takes their friends and maybe you just sit there and like play Ultimate Pit Fight or something, you know, or you
Hmm.
just like play Blitz all weekend and chill and vibe. Like, please just have a
right.
good time.
Go fuck around and have a good time.
Don't play Ultimate Pit Fight all weekend though. I hear that format sucks.
Yeah.
Never played a single game.
Yeah, I
I have
mean,
no
I
idea.
haven't,
No.
but I've
Couldn't
heard it's
tell you.
terrible.
I
But
haven't either.
no, I mean, it's a good question. But I think if you just play people.
All right, question number 2 is from Keith, and it's so the product pictures for Uprising show a dragon and a phoenix entangled. Ancient Chinese lore espouses that their first emperor was a dragon and his queen, a balancing counterpart, was a phoenix. Think like yin to yang, female phoenix, male dragon. Do you think that since Dromai, is that how we're saying it,
I think so.
is a dragon, that Fae
Yep.
might be a phoenix?
I think that's basically the way they're treating it. Yeah.
Yeah, because she builds up ash or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do spoilers in this show, but she has an ash mechanic that she builds up and
Yeah. We just don't know how it works.
right.
We know
Yep.
it's a thing. We just don't know what that thing is.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's. I think they definitely went and took from and borrowed from that lore to incorporate it into this world, and that's definitely what this feels like. This is the balancing aspect of this place, and the two sides being at war with each other is about the struggle to cross the line and break the balance, or the balance has been broken and it's about restoring the balance. So yeah, I think that lore wise, we're definitely feeding from that, and that makes a lot of sense.
Whether or not they end up getting the talent designation Phoenix is a different question, I suppose. But
No, I think that's just ultrasonic.
Yeah, but I do think that flavorfully that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. All right. Question number 3 is from Alan. Canonically, to my understanding, Ira is a figure from race past, but with the reveal of the new draconic illusionist who brings back dead/historical dragons, do you think we might ever see a dual class hero, i.e., illusionist ninja Ira, for example?
I think that the science space is a long ways off.
Yes, I agree.
There's so much to do. Not saying it'll never happen. Saying more to the point of that is design space that has to be a long ways down there. We know we have classes that they intend to introduce that they haven't yet.
Mm.
So we will certainly be seeing some of those before we ever see dual classes. I know a lot of people feel like they want mechanologists to be more of a specialization rather than a class and things like that. And yeah, so I don't know. Like to me personally, I feel like that is design space that can be explored at some point. I just don't think we're anywhere close to it.
Completely agree. Yeah, they'd have to rework rules for dual class heroes too. Like there's no way that you just like Bravo star of the show, right, and just get to play every card from those things. Could you imagine if you just got to play every illusionist, every ninja card? Like maybe that's not even good because the classes do synergize well within themselves, but they don't.
If you could play every rune blade and every illusionist card.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the fuck you doing?
Yeah, but I would rather see new classes as opposed to dual ones first.
Yeah,
I agree. And then question number 4 is from Zenga, and it's DM Armada mentioned parentheses Skeleta, I think, Jesus, being suspended until chain cycles out and we get a new chain or a new shadow warrior. I don't really understand this. If we get a chain replacement and the band card comes back, how will it change anything if the band card itself still has the same power?
The way it synergizes. I mean, Seeds is really the card in question here, not Skeleta. Because we're talking about chain specifically. So Seeds is now on the suspended list until chain goes away, right? The problem with Seeds of Agony isn't Chain, the hero. It's Chain's ability to create soul shackles and how it's effectively drawing free cards with cards that cost 0 that you can play out of your banish zone with actual 0 steps that also enable all the other cards in your deck to do dumb things. That's the problem with that card. So once Chain's ability goes away, then Seeds becomes less strong. Viscerai and Skeleta. If Viscerai's ability multiplies Rune Chance, it lets you create a critical mass of Rune Chance faster. If you then make a Viscerai later that doesn't have the ability to multiply Rune Chance and does something else with his little drawing circles, then you would not. Then Skeleta is not necessarily as big a problem. So it's not about the hero name; it's more about the ability that's stapled onto them.
Yeah, I think you said that wonderfully. Like the text itself of Seeds of Agony isn't very, overwhelming. It's how it interacts with everything else and how easy it is to get it into the graveyard or into the banish zone.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's a good instructive lesson too. Like as people like get better at this game, or as you dive deeper into it, is that there is more than just the surface level, right? There is the other 58, 57 cards or whatever. And that's the fun part. That's where the juice starts to happen.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to announce our giveaway winner. Logan, question for you: does your place in Orlando that you're staying at have a drum set?
No, no. I'm sorry. I have like my concierge. I can just try to text him and see if he can bring one, but it's not gonna be anytime soon.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's fine, I suppose. Would
His
you
name's
like
Bill,
to?
kind of a nice guy from
Oh,
Ohio.
thanks. Hi, Bill.
Yeah.
I have a lot of follow-up questions on that after the call. If you want to announce the winner, since it's your card.
Since I'm providing the card,
Yeah, we bought half of this bitch.
we bought
Well, we bought half of it
before it
before.
spiked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to change what we're doing. It's just we're 100% giving
right.
this. The winner of our Mask of Momentum is either Michael or Macau. I don't know for sure. Sierzolski, we have reached out to you on Twitter already by the time you hear this. Congrats. We do need you to contact us to let us know where to send this, and we do need to know, let's call it, you're going to hear the show on May 3rd. Let's give it till May 7th. If we haven't
Sure.
heard by May 7th, we will then draw a new winner that is not Melody. So, yeah.
Sorry, Melody.
Got her.
Um,
I felt a little bad when it wasn't her, to be clear.
Kissing ass. Come on, man.
Before we announce the next giveaway, so we've talked a lot about this, about how I thought that literally no one would ever listen to this episode.
No one.
Or this show ever.
Mm-mm.
But as Logan alluded to previously, when we hit 100 people in the Discord, we were going to do another giveaway. And we did that. We surpassed that. What day last week was it?
About a week ago. It's almost been a week.
Yeah. So before we announce what it is, I just want to say thank you to everybody that listens and is in there. I never in a million years thought this is what I would do every week, but here we are. So thanks for listening to us.
We started doing this thinking we were doing it for ourselves, and now we're doing it for others. So,
yes.
And it feels good. I mean, I'm still doing it for myself. I still absolutely enjoy what I'm doing. Never feels like a job or something I don't want to do. But the interaction and the community that we have for all of us, for our podcast and also this the group as a whole, has just made it utterly enjoyable. So we like to give shit away. So let's give something away. Abby, what do you want to give away?
So we are going to give away a Rhinar versus Dorinthia dual deck. Since this giveaway is because of the milestone that we hit in Discord, it will only be in the Discord. So to enter, you will need to be in the Discord. You will react with the sword reaction to the post in the announcement section. And that will be up. Is it up now? It's up now.
Up right now. It's live.
Look at that.
Yep. We already have one entry. So Sleepy Jackal.
Our bestie Sleepy.
If it were a speed contest, my friend,
the Jack would have it on lock.
Yeah, I think he was the first for the fucking Mask of Momentum too. Let me see. He might have been for the Mask of Momentum too. I don't know. My internet might be doing weird things, so I don't want to test it.
But, oh man, the Jackal just clutch.
Oh man,
right. And then as a reminder, we are also going to be doing a giveaway to the Realms event in June, June 25th and 26th. The 25th is a 10K Classic Constructed tournament, and the 26th is a 5K Unified Team Blitz tournament. We will get you out the details on the giveaway and how we're doing that in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. And then we will put the link in the show notes as well.
Yeah, I've never anticipated doing 3 overlapping giveaways like we have going on right now.
That's bonkers.
But we're wrapping up Mask of Momentum, and then the Dorinthia dual deck was just like a timed, like that was just whenever we hit the 100 Discord people that weren't us and the robots.
We figured to be close to the release date of the Dorinthia Rhinar deck, and nope, like 4 weeks before.
Nope, really. that and the realm is ran by an actual madman that can't stop running great tournaments. So so we gotta pump those up too. So yeah. So there's a lot going on right now. Come get you come get you one of these.
Shit. We're here to give it away.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this one's not an $150 card that we have to pay for. So that's
I never paid for any of these mass momentums. I literally opened every single one.
So these were all free rolls. All 3 of these contests cost us nothing.
I mean, it cost me a prize pack. Or no, I opened this one in draft. So no,
so yeah.
It's going to cost him $1.30 to send it.
No, I'll send this one with tracking.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm not going to roll the dice back. I'm not going to roll the dice again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably do a little more on that. All right. As always, you can find us on Twitter at FlushPod. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple. You can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can email us at flushandpod@gmail.com. My personal Twitter is at AbbyD83. It has tweets that I put out there at some point since I created it, but I don't know that any of them were recent. Still don't have a possum or a raccoon because
or a stylist.
Neither of them love me, so
whoa.
Sorry folks. I know. It's very heartbreaking.
Hey, that's one of the causes for divorce in Ohio that legally allows us to separate. Is that what you're saying?
Wait, what?
Take all your shit. Oh, wait. I think you said I don't love you. And I was like, wait, that means we have to get a divorce in Ohio.
Weird.
Maybe you should get me.
Or it's one of the legal grounds for divorce.
Here's
I think
the thing.
Like loss of attraction or some shit.
I sent Jordan a link for the Build-A-Bear possum that you can just make. It's like $19, and I was like, "Oh, look how cute this is," thinking that he would like hint, nudge, nudge,
figure it out.
Nope, hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I saw it acknowledged.
Yeah, I don't. I went to the zoo again this weekend, different zoo. There was a red panda that was super adorable. And there was, what else was there? Oh, there was a baby orangutan that was just making his mom was miserable.
Well, okay.
But he was cute. There you go. Logan?
You can find me on Twitter at Logan Peterson. LOGANPETERSEN for the spelling challenged. Also, I'm always in the Discord talking about stuff or tweeting from the Flesh and Pod Twitter account. So yeah, engage with me wherever, and I will more than likely engage back. And yeah, I may be slow to respond as I'm currently, like I said, in Florida. I'm just kind of hanging out, and my travel schedule has become an utter bastard because of this, then Jersey, then Vegas, then Columbus, and etc. I think my next 3 weekends sometime in July. So, so I might not respond as quickly as I'd like to, but I will respond, and I will talk about anything that you want to talk about. It can be ennui, existential dread, beer, bread, other varieties of foodstuffs, or just talking shit about Levia. So you just let me know.
I had biscuits and gravy today for my bread. For my bread portion. Yeah. Mine was very good.
I also had this toffee cake, which was like...
Oh, I am a huge coffee cake fan.
No, toffee. Toffee. It was a coffee cake. It was a coffee cake with toffee mixed into it.
I don't think I would hate that either.
Vanilla bean ice cream on top. I mean, it fucked. Like, it was real good. We had this tapas place here in Orlando, and like... They did candy bacon perfectly. They did it was good biscuits and gravy. They did like I said, that that toffee cake was insane. They made these they used croissants and made French toast out of croissants.
Ooh.
That was unreal. I'm like, damn. All right, they brought the heat. Yeah, there was a lot of bread consumed.
There you go.
Jordan. Where can they find out about your bread?
What bread did you have?
Yeah, I too had bread today. I had bread sticks. from a pizza place. Yeah. I'm Jerman's where I'm at on Twitter. I am JORMAN. You can find me there tweeting flesh and blood, tweeting about politics. What is my most recent tweet? Let's just do a little clicksy on that. Let's see what are you gonna catch me at right now in real time? Oh, the Columbus Crew won 3-0 last night, and I called it to be 3-0.
You win any money on that?
I didn't. I was a coward. I live in a state where I can't bet online anyway, too.
Forgot about Ohio not being.
I would not have though, so I can't blame that on that. That being said, if there was like a sports book in the stadium and I walked by it, I absolutely might have. So like, who can be sure? Yeah, sports, politics, whatever. You can catch it on there.
Lots of cricket.
Come hang out.
Yes.
Cricket. Lots of cricket comes into that Twitter account. Yeah, the Mumbai Indians beat the Rajasthan Royals.
Wow,
yeah, we felt bad for you.
So the Battle of House Kennedy. Yeah.
Also, if anybody knows how to buy IPL gear in the US, let me know, because I was trying to do it online today, and the options are to buy it in India or to buy it internationally, but it's like just the UK. I would really like to get a Rajasthan Royals jersey, but I don't really know how to make that happen. So
I mean, if I end up traveling back to India for work again, I can always just buy them and bring them back.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, they don't make jerseys in my size.
Well,
so
just call. Just call your boss and tell them that you need to go to India. Then it's fine.
I don't think the Indian government or the Indian people that make clothes ever contemplated a man being as large as me. Yeah. It's like. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all we have for this week. We will talk to you next week. Bye.